So welcome again to our double demo day. We are very happy to be here to introduce you to batch 613. So once again, I need to explain to your family, friends, and loved ones what you've been up to on the last couple of months. You started with Python, with just really the basics of Python, learning how to code. And since then, you learned things like Pandas to start with, also how to do proper data analysis with Matplotlib, one of those cool visualization tools that you used. And then eventually something really simple as machine learning and deep learning. And then something even simpler, I think, data engineering, how to deploy those models in production. And now you are presenting these two projects. So one thing I want to mention again is that these projects that you see were done in only 8 days. And for data science, I also have to say that what you'll see here in terms of absence, 1 day of the bootcamp, like learning Streamlit, and probably like 1 day of the project. So all of the things, and the most important part of your work, obviously, is what goes behind the scenes and the models you built and the different algorithms you try to implement and the optimization you did to the ones you chose. So I'm really proud of what you've achieved. We have 7 students from Portugal, Austria, France, and the Netherlands. And I'm going to hand over to Jean-Pierre, our bootcamp manager, /teacher, /developer.
So we have 2 groups. So the first one will be about fantasy football prediction. So it's called Deep Coach, and it's with Henry from France, Talia from France, Pep from the Netherlands, and Armin from Austria.
Yeah, so good evening everyone, also from our side, to everyone here in Lisbon and at home over the internet. My name is Armin, and together with my friends Talia, Peppermint, and Henry over the last 2 weeks, we built the Fantasy Premier League Predictor, or as we like to call it, Deep Coach. Now, what is actually fantasy football? It's a global online game where people compete every year, every season. At the beginning of the season, they get a budget of £100 million, and they can buy actual football players, fantasy-wise, of course, not the real ones, from the Premier League, the English Football League, and they can make their team of 50 players, and every week they have to choose their starting 11, and then each week they can also make 1 transfer to optimize the team, and then you will get points depending on the actual performance of the team in the real-life game week. So why actually did we choose this topic? Why is this important to us? Well, our dear friend Pep is one of those 8 billion people, and he was very enthusiastic. He started out, watched all the games, analyzed all the players, tried to come up with the best team possible week after week. And he wanted to beat his friends, of course, but as with many things, life got in the way, and so he had better things to do. He just could not be bothered with following all the matches, analyzing all the players, and doing this analysis week after week, and so he dropped in the rankings and ended up pretty poorly in the ranking. And that's where our Deep Coach comes into play, because we use state-of-the-art deep learning algorithms to analyze the past week's performance together with the data about the game that's going to happen the next game week in order to predict each player's performance and enable the users to make the best team for their next game week. And Talia is now going to tell you how we did it.
So we choose data from 5 years, so from 2016 to 2021. And each year has 38 game weeks, and per game week there's a lot of players. So each player for each game week has reflected 40 features. So the columns you see there are the 40 features reflected. For example, the goals, their scores, or the red or yellow card they've got, or their total points. And in total, there's 110,000 rows for this data set. So how did we did our data in feature engineering? So we divided our data into player performance-related features, which are unknown before the game, and game-related features, which are known before the game, such as the level of the opponent team. And so the performance-related features are based on a rolling average window and injected into the model, whilst the game-related features are directly injected into the model. For our model, we decided to take only 30 features out of the 40 ones, and we tried different models, deep learning and machine learning models, but the one with the lowest average error was the neural network model. So what is a neural network model? It's basically a system of interconnected nodes that learns, in our case, how to predict players' performances based on their past performances. So we inject the features in the model, and the model gives weight to each feature, and through time it learns to predict the outcome based on the weight it gave to the features, to each features. So at the end, it gives an outcome. So.
And our web app basically uses an API to access the model's predictions. So we built that API with Fast API and deployed it in a Docker container on the Google Cloud platform. And as for the front end, we built it with Streamlit, basically, which is a Python package, and we deployed it on Heroku, just like you guys. And yeah, I think we're going to go for a little demo of how the product really works, how the web app works. So can you just go to the next slide? So we're here in week 37 of the Premier League. Pep is deciding, look at him, he's deciding who to play and not to play. He's really struggling out here. He just doesn't know much. He hasn't been following the Premier League recently. So he's just going to stick to his usual team. He's not going to bother. Right, great. Fast forward to week 38, the results are out. What did he score? 39. That's honestly pretty average, but he's kind of used to it because he's lazy in the last couple of weeks. He's really disappointed. Now, can we rewind back to week 37? Pep is still struggling with his team, but this time his friend Armin comes into play and introduces the coach.
And what's going on?
I'm playing this game and I'm losing so much money. My friends keep beating me and I don't know what I'm doing.
Give them the mic.
Yeah, you know what? I know you suck at fantasy football, but hey, at least the Netherlands won against Austria. You were clearly the better team. I have to admit it, you deserve the win, so congrats on that.
Thank you. I'm pretty bad at fantasy football, but not as bad as Austria.
I don't know about that, but actually we can help you with fantasy football. Yeah, literally just built an app for that. If you go to deepcoach.com.
So let's go access that. Here is Pep in week 37 choosing his team. So as you can see, you can input like your player. You've got 15 of them. So you can just type the name. As you can see, there's a little drop down that's really sweet. It changes as you type. And you can select your players. So that's really easy to use. You select 3 forwards, 3 midfielders, 5 midfielders, 5 defenders, and 2 keepers. So that's 15,000 total. Then he's going to input his budget, as you see instead. Little drop down. There we go. What's his budget? I think it's about 8.1 million. So he should get a bit of budget for good transfers. He gets 1 transfer every week. So that's a pretty important thing. Let's go. Let's start a prediction. Who should he play? This is basically. There we go. This is what the model says Pep should play for the next week, basically. So we've got nice little pictures of the players. We mentioned the transfer, remember? So what if we actually want to use that and have the model help us with the transfer as well?
As you can see, we've got recommendations about the captain. He gets double points, so it's a really important decision, and it's cool to have a model to help you out with that. But yeah, so we've got automatic transfer recommendations, so let's use that and rerun to get the new team that should play, having done this transfer. I think it's already running, but can we get a little second? Thank you, and there we go. You can see Mohamed Salah was just included in the midfielders, so that's a change. And as you can see, he was captained by the model, so this is a recommendation. And I think this guy, Townsend, just got sent off to the bench, so unlucky Townsend. And yeah, Pep, you know what, he's really lazy, he likes the tool. He's just going to use it. He's going to use it for 38, and let's see what the model gets. 51 points, okay, thank you, model.
This is quite pretty good, actually. If I had done this every game week for 38 game weeks, I would have had a total 2,000 and something points. And my rank would have improved. This is a global rank, so there's 8 million players. It would have improved to somewhere in the 2 million. This would have been pretty cool. I would definitely be with my friends, but they also aren't very good at this game. This is definitely an app I will be trying out next season. If we move on to the next slide, we have some next steps that we want to work on this summer. For example, trying to make it all automatic. So for example, we could put in the link of our fantasy football team and we would just scrape the names and already put it into the app. This would be pretty cool, and it would make the suggestions and already input the suggestions for us. So for us, we would have to do absolutely nothing and still meet our friends. Finally, the goal is to make money off of our friends and become famous and rich. Yeah. Finally, we want to thank everyone, especially all our tutors, our teachers, the three J's, JJ and J. And please try to use our app if you can.
Thank you very much. So I read here that you were thinking about being rich, right? So please don't forget about the teachers. So with that said, we have our next group, our last group. So our last group is called Big Picture, and it's basically a bunch of Portuguese, which is nice. And so it's João Martins from Portugal, João from Portugal, and José also from Portugal.
Hello everyone. So, we came here today to talk about the news. But first we want to present what is the problem at hand, biased news. Have you ever had the feeling that something that you're reading is biased in any way? News that are something that is supposed to be full of fact and then biased at all, end up always leaning towards one side or the other. And you end up even talking with your friends about the same topic and feeling like you're talking about different things. Or even the television that shows you the picture that they want to show you, but in reality, the whole picture is something different. Or that sometimes you have a hard time distinguishing something from fact or fake. Here we want to try to solve that. And as information, around 70% of us think that other people have a biased opinion, but only around 30% of us think that about our own opinion. Question where we get our sources from and if they are really the only perspective. We are not right now looking at the bigger picture. So our solution is exactly that. A program called a web app called Big Picture, which wants to bring news, but news that you can compare to its peers, to similar topics. For that, we've come up with a solution to get news with all perspective. So we start by labeling news data by topic, trying to understand if it is politics, if it is sports, if it is health, to create the first division between the actual news. Further then, in news that we already have the topic from, we can group them up by similar words. So we use the content and the title of each news to understand what is the most important words, and then we develop a model that can put together news with similar words. And lastly, we wanted to present it in a clear and concise manner that can be user-friendly and that can be used by anyone. For that, we had to find out the data. Our first challenge was actually building something that could accurately predict which level it was, if it was politics or health. And for that, we used the data from Huffington Post. It has around 200K different news, all of them labeled by news topic, and each one of them with the title and description of the news. Later, to actually populate our world and have news to compare to when you're searching for your news, we had to find an API. In this case, we found out the news API, which can help you easily find some news. It also has the title and description of the news. This one do not have the topic, which will let the first model to predict the topic that they belong to, and we can do up to 1,000 daily requests, allowing us to get a lot of different news. Now, for the data, we needed to pre-process to get it ready to be able to be read by the models. And for that, I'll have my colleagues launch.
Thank you. So I don't want to bore you too much with all the details of our models, so I'll try to be a bit brief. But basically, we have thousands of articles, and each one has a bunch of words, so that's not a lot of data that our algorithms can understand. So the first job is to turn these articles into numbers. We did some pre-processing. We started with a normal sentence. We take out the numbers, take out the capital letters and punctuation, and after that, we take out just the most important parts of each word to be as simple as possible. Using this, we can change the text into numbers. We use deep learning and machine learning algorithms to do this. Some use more the top words. Some use this concise words, but the thing is, we turn these words into numbers. So after this, we can use this information to make some models. We had something like 18 models working in our project, and really the main challenge was organizing all of this together to make good sense and be deployable. We had a model to classify our data into 16 different topics and divides our data into these topics. And then for each one, we made a clustering model that divides us into subtopics. This way you can get a small list of articles that are similar to your topic. And finally, we did a sentiment analysis to figure out if these articles are more positive or more negative, so if you can have some sense of relationship between the articles in a subtopic. From this, we wanted to deploy this. We actually made a Linux virtual machine that's running right now in the cloud, where our model is, and we built a front end in Streamlit, just like the other group, and deployed it in Heroku. So now we can show you the website working.
So moving on to the user experience, as Jose said, we try the lean approach. This is basically a search engine. So a use case would be like a news reporter who would like to interview someone and would like to be prepared beforehand. So let's go through the experience. Give me some search words that I can use in this engine. Just two words from you, from the audience.
Trump.
Trump? Another word? Chicken? Chicken.
Oh, let's see if Trump and chicken
So I'm getting some news from this comes directly from the news API. So the reporter would look at the news and see which one is interesting for me to explore. He would go, okay, let me analyze this one. Oops. Sorry. Let me analyze this one. And this is the part where all the deep learning, the machine learning models are working their ass off instead of me. Zipping through the news and putting this labeling and putting all the news that are from the same cluster inside of the same group. And I'm going to have an analysis of similar articles to the one that I have selected. So instantly, just by one glance, I'm going to see news that are similar to the one that I've chosen, and I have an insight from just from looking at these arrows that these views with the green arrow are going to be more positively inclined than the one that I've chose to analyze, and the ones with the red arrow are going to be the other way around. You can see by looking at this word cloud that these are the most common words used in this cluster of views that I'm analyzing. And by looking at this graph, I see that this news, this article is within this range, which is more negatively inclined than all the other ones in this cluster. And I could go and read from the source from the article that I've chosen, and I could now have a wider view of the thing that I'm trying to learn about by looking at, let me see an article that is more negatively inclined than the one I've selected. So I will instantly have a much more broader opinion on the subject that I want to explore. And I could also use this feature that is in advanced query. I could put some search words here. I could put a date from which I want to start searching from. I could select from specific sources. I'm not going to go through that because it's basically the same. But that's a general idea, a lean tool that we can use. There's some steps from there's some space for improvement, and my colleague Jose is going to tell you about that.
Yeah, so this is our main app. Already now for next steps would be to further develop the model. Right now it has around 77% accuracy when predicting the topic, which is much bigger than the baseline, which would be around 8%. But still, it's not. There's still space for improvement. Apart from that, also the front end, as we could see from some of our colleagues from the web development, there's a lot of space for growth and for making the experience better. So that's something that we would like to tackle on as well. And another way would be also to have a reliable source of news to increase the 1,000 requests that we have per day to build up these news of our own. If you can go back to the presentation, João. Also, just to hand, there is also the thank yous. Of course, we would like to thank all the assistant teachers, João, Margarida, José, Nuno, and Kiwe, and also our peers, the Deep Coach team, which have been a lovely experience doing this with you guys, and now finishing and presenting this all here together. Woo!
Well done. Congratulations, guys. Amazing project. One thing that all of the teachers tell me, like, in the last couple of weeks, is this data science teams, like projects are becoming so good, so they are so much better than you when you did this. So I'm also offended and not proud. But yeah, it's amazing projects, and once again, we're really lovely to work with. Always positive, always invested in learning, so it was really good job. I want to thank the feedback house very well, right? Didn't have any comentários but you had a balcony over the garden, which was a alegria, so that's not too bad. And obviously I want to thank as well Chiara that did, I don't know how many data science events this quarter, and João as well. And the teachers, because there aren't that many, I can spend a bit more time with each one of you. So Margarida. Margarida is so pushy that she wanted me to do neural networks by hand when I did the bootcamp. I never did. Whatever. Yeah, thank you for that. You're so disappointed now, right? And also, they are not here, but Shiwe just is going to rule the world. So and then Jose is working, so was there too, and he's probably like the most chill guy that you can have facing a bug. I never saw someone like him just another bug. That's all. It's a round of applause for you. And once again, about this, so the man is teacher, TA, bootcamp manager, and developer for Wagon. So, like, it is his fault. If you want to know about it, you can go to him. So, João, round of applause. So I think last thing is Wagon batch 613 has arrived to destination, and congratulations to all of you.